Lim, I am 19 years old.
Okay, and are you in school?
I am. I'm at Southwestern Michigan College, and I'm going to be a sophomore this year.
All right.
I'm Asian, specifically Cambodian.
My name is Darion Denham. I am 24. I am Black African American.
Dutch, which means I'm white. My name is Joan Henneveld, and I am 78.
Cambodian. My mom came here from Cambodia.
Okay.
And she ran away from the Khmer Rouge. And so that was a really hard time. That was the genocide that was going on in Cambodia at that time. My dad was here. I don't really know much about him.
Okay.
But yeah, they got married, had kids, and then my mom passed away of lung cancer, and my dad wasn't able to take care of me. So
Okay, so you're living with foster.
kind of, they're my guardians.
Guardians
Yeah,
at
they have
this
full
point.
guardianship over me.
And I went to GRCC for a year. I graduated from Holland High. And right now I'm working for the city of Holland.
Master's degree plus for teaching you had to do more than a master's, so I have master's plus.
So tell me about your.
So in '67 I moved to Detroit and taught in the Detroit Public Schools. I didn't know what I was getting into, but that was all right. I was young and I wanted to be kind, save those poor little black kids, because I did end up in an entirely black school. It took me a year or two, but pretty soon the kids didn't call me the white bitch anymore. They would say to each other, "Go tell Miss Henneveld, she will listen to you." So anyway, all of my teaching years ended up being 43.
What comes to mind is somebody who's really passionate about something and really going for it, I guess you could say.
Do you know anybody that's kind of that type of person?
I've heard of many famous people, and we've watched lots of documentaries that have activists on there, like for breast cancer research or something like that. I don't know any specifically.
Yeah,
but
any-
No, I would say the closest I've come is to people who are really motivated and really want to
Yeah.
do things with their life, but I wouldn't say an activist.
Okay.
Going on with that, it was kind of like a dream come true when I first heard about it, because I didn't know what the world or what the company or just how everything would be if it wasn't because of that, or what he had done in his days and years of living and just all over. I just think it's a good, and right now today we admire guys like them once their name get brought up, and if today the world is different if it wasn't for them.
Right.
And it became a big solution and a big talk of just the name and just what he done, just so I can get a kind of ideal of what he have done and what he have did for the country and just for the world, and just how he changed it in many different ways.
Yummy.
Have not lately, no.
Okay. An active.
Internment.
Yeah.
I've heard of the time when they were like really questioned, things like that, so they put them into a camp. Is that what
Yes.
you're
Yeah. they're
okay,
called
I've heard
those.
of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have studied that in school at all?
Briefly, yes.
Briefly. Grace Lee Boggs. Does that mean anything to you?
Have not heard of her
in your
either,
studies
no.
either.
Sorry, no.
What I remember is there was a curfew, and it was, midsummer, and I remember having to get back to my apartment before curfew, otherwise I might have been locked up, because they were serious about that. I heard the sirens, but I was far enough away from where the fire was, where the rioting was, that it didn't affect me except for this curfew.
Have you ever heard of Grace Lee Boggs? Or
Yes,
James
the name
Boggs?
is, the Boggs name is...
Yourself an activist?
Oh, no, I'm not an activist. I'm very liberal in my thinking and progressive, but the only time I pick it is when my school has a strike. I'm trying to think of what his name was, who was very, very active from the cathedral. His name right now.
Yeah.
Sorry
There's
about
someone
that.
that you kind of admired or
Oh,
looked
yeah.
up to,
Oh, my,
and
yes.
felt that he was important for what was happening at
Yeah.
that time in Detroit.
Very.
How do you
Bill
feel?
Logan.
Oh, there you go.
Bill Logan, William Logan.
I'm trying to kind of lead to what these activists, what role they played in society today. How do the people of color today, do they realize what these people went through, what happened in those riots in 1967?
You know, that's a whole generation or so away now. And kids today don't appreciate what the adults went through when that occurred. Just like the feminist movement, those girls don't appreciate what mothers and grandmothers went through. And even me, I could tell you stories about, if I thought of it, stories that I look back now and I say, can you remember when we used to have to do this or that, and you had to keep your mouth shut because you were going to get in trouble if you complained about this or that.
Right.
Like some male teacher coming on to you, you know, that kind of thing. You would never say anything because they didn't want to hear it. Oh, another generation passes, like the generation beyond us now is not going to appreciate the gay issue and what all the activists went through and the secrecy and all of that. As much as there were a year or two, like I say, I had won their loyalty or whatever. It wasn't talked about in the classroom anymore. No. And I didn't bring it up because I was there to teach the kids. Right. And I thought the best way I can do that is just to not bring it up. If they brought it up, like the little kid would come and say, Miss Inneveld, my uncle was shot last night. I give the sympathy and then, you know, tell my friends, God, look what these little kids are having to deal with. But that wasn't because of the riots. That was just because this was in the...
Regardless.
Well,
yeah. Well, I do consider you an activist. As you say, you're liberal. You stand up for what you believe in. And
I stand up if there's going to be a discussion. But it's so...
You don't want to do that.
Becoming liberal, becoming progressive was something that happened to me when I was 30-ish, 27, 30, later 20s.
Had anything to do with you living in Detroit?
Well, perhaps, but the reason I got there, I had already started thinking liberally and progressively. I had changed from my very fundamental conservative Dutch Reformed Church to Hope Church, and that's a much more liberal.
As an Asian American.
To me, honestly, I feel like I have the same opportunities and the same equalities as everybody else here. They all give me the same chance at doing something that I really want to do, and they don't really treat me any differently. You haven't felt any kind of discrimination or any kind of things that you wouldn't dare do because of my race? Your race? Well, I mean, I heard a lot of stereotypes like the Asian nail, opening the nail salon, things like that, but I take that more as a joke, but I don't take it personally, because I know I'm awful at nails. I've tried my whole life trying to do it, and I just can't do it. But I think with my major, first of all, they need women, and they need a minority. Right. So that kind of opened up opportunities for me to do. Right, at school, basically, or even as you're looking at career options. Oh, no, I didn't. I'm going into criminal justice. Criminal justice, yes. Yep. I don't know what exactly yet, but that's going to be my major. Okay, great. Great.
In the last, 4 or 5 years since you've been working, and that you've had to stand up for yourself?
Yeah, but nah, because people, it all depends on how you carry yourself. So if you kind of let people you can feel like people saying things to you in a different way, but it's all about how you take it in that kind of way. So for me, the most important thing is just kind of just letting little things like that go before you start thinking other different ways, and it can turn out to another different scene. Definitely.